Hi, thanks for joining me for this Friday's Ask Susanna. Today we're going to go over market updates, and I'm going to do my best to simplify it for you with a caveat that it's complicated. So there's always more information where below in links, you'll see my State of the Market report, got national data as well as local data. I'm going to share some sources for you on my website. There are live updates. You can explore neighborhood by neighborhood. And again, be sure to ask any questions that come up, because one of the first topics are going to go the yin and yang of macro versus micro markets. We're going to talk about urban and suburban markets, and also residential and commercial trends and how that may impact you. Stay tuned to the end. I'm going to try to keep it short. Also have some insights of out-of-the-box buying trends in the luxury market that might be of interest to you. So let's get started. So I'm jumping over to my State of the Market report, which I published. This uses national data. So we're going to take a look at some highlights from that. Just 1 second as I do a screen share. This is published in a link below, so you can browse at your leisure, or you can also download it if you like, into a PDF. So here we go. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to highlight. There are, of course, my passion about statistics, and the purpose of talking about yin yang is that there are multi-layers to data and the impact on consumers. And sure, as I talk to people across the country, and even I connect with Canadian realtors, I'll share some of the trends up there in a moment. You'll see that the number of showings have gone down. The listings are down significantly. The prices are stable, but there's definitely a quieting of the market. And that means the values haven't dropped significantly, but the idea that there's this crazy frenzy of multiple offer situations, that has eased quite a bit. And so that's my passion about getting you fresh data, like fresh coffee, because the market is not now what it was 6 months ago. So one of the yin yang, one of the other sides of the market is, the higher priced homes and values are strong and staying strong, but affordability is down, rent is up. And so there is an undertow, so to speak, of the lower angle of the K-shaped economic recovery that is definitely of concern. And I will say to you, one of my pet peeves is when people oversimplify the market and simply saying it's not 2008. It is not 2008, but today's market is very dynamic, shifting quickly, and has some dangers if you're not aware of the trends. So here you can see this is national statistics about number of offers per listing and how that has declined. So please pay attention to today's market, not what happened 6 months ago. And with that, I'll get off my soapbox. So as we go from macro to micro, as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm going to give you a peek into where you can find this information on my website to make it easy for you. There are community guides on my website here. For instance, this is Bryn Mawr, but also if you just come back up to the guides and flip over into Center City, I'm going to segue this into the other topic I mentioned, which is urban versus suburban. When we look at Midtown luxury or Midtown updates, the micro trends in Midtown versus Rittenhouse is very dynamic changes, as you can see here. And then if we jump over, the main line in general is staying strong in value, but the demand and number of offers has declined. But here you can pick your neighborhood, click in, see real life data. But as I work with my clients, we go micro, because even like in Center City, as we're negotiating, each building has a different micro market. So there's a resource for you. Please bookmark these guides. Feel free to step back, check back every month, because the market data is updated automatically as soon as it's published. So residential versus commercial, or not versus, but the impact between the two is something that I've been really keeping my ear to the ground about nationwide, the trend with commercial, as you know, like if you walk through the streets in Center City around Broad Street, 15th Street, there's a lot of empty commercial buildings. It's of concern, and the future is uncertain. We're not sure in terms of, you've seen all the news articles, I've probably shared them with you, about back to work. Is it going to be a hybrid environment? So there's a potential distress wave of commercial properties, mixed use, especially CMX 1 and 2, that could be good buy opportunities coming up Q2, Q3. If you're an investor, we should talk about that. But again, we'll do the micro market analysis on any properties that you're interested in, because development Murano's numbers are completely different than the Rittenhouse Hotel, for instance. So here's some tidbits about buying patterns in the luxury market that you may not be hearing about that I thought might be interesting. One, an agent I network with in Manhattan, while Manhattan condo market seems a little depressed, actually there's a lot of cryptocurrency investors snatching up what they feel are good values there. Two, millennials worldwide who've come into family money, who've come into maybe crypto investment returns, are really not so interested in buying a big property. They're very interested in fractional ownership, which was hot back in the mortgage crisis and the resort location on Kauai, where I was very active as a luxury agent. It's interesting to see that resurface in a different manner. So the idea is, why not travel the world, work remotely, own part of a home here, part of a home there. Very interesting dynamic, which brings me to sort of the summation that today's market is not only a national market, but a worldwide market. So please stay tuned, connect with me on Clubhouse. This is where I learn from institutional investors in Japan, luxury experts in Canada. I'm constantly hearing updates and trends and insights to help you best navigate a very dynamic market with yin and yang. Every positive has a negative. I'm always turning the Rubik's Cube, looking at things from many angles. And we want to make sure that we're including as much information as possible to help you make the best decision that fits for you personally and financially. Hope to see you at 3 o'clock this afternoon on Clubhouse. In the meantime, check back for next week's Ask Susanna on Friday. I'll have the coffee ready. Take care.